In this scene, the devil and young Goodman Brown are walking along through the forest discussing how the devil knows the deacon. Eventually, they run into an old friend, Goody Cloyes, who the devil confronts. We picked this scene because it shows how the devil can disguise himself as a friend when most people fear his presence and when there is no escaping.
Let's walk. I have a very general acquaintance here in New England. The deacons of many a church have drunk the communion wine with me. The selectmen of diverse towns make me the chairman. The majority of the great and general court are firm supporters of my interests. The governor and I too, but these are state secrets.
Can this be so? Howbeit, I have nothing to do with the governor and council, and they have their own ways, and there are no rule for a simple husbandman like me. But were I to go on with thee, how should I meet the eye of that good old man, our minister, at Salem village? Oh, his voice would make me tremble, both Sabbath day and lecture day.
Thus far, the elder traveler had listened with due gravity, but now burst into a fit of irrepressible mirth, shaking himself so violently that his snake-like staff actually seemed to wriggle in sympathy.
Ha ha ha! Well, go on, Goodman Brown, go on. But prithee, don't kill me with laughing.
Well then, to end the matter at once, there is my wife, Faith. It would break her dear little heart, and I'd rather break my own.
Nay, if that be the case, e'en go thy ways, Goodman Brown. I would not, for 20-year-old women like the one hobbling before us, that Faith should come to any harm.
As he spoke, he pointed his staff at a female figure on the path, in whom Goodman Brown recognized as a very poised and exemplary dame who had taught him his catechism in youth, and was still his moral and spiritual advisor, jointly with the minister and Deacon Dukin.
Marvel truly that Goody Cloyes should be so far in the wilderness at nightfall. But with your leave, friend, I shall take a cut through the woods until we have left this Christian woman behind. Being a stranger to you, she might ask whom I was consorting with, and whither I was going.
Be it so. You take you to the woods, and let me keep the path.
Goodbye.
Accordingly, the young man turned aside, but took care to watch his companion, who advanced softly along the road until he had come within a staff's length of the old dame. She, meanwhile, was making the best of her way with singular speed for so aged a woman, and mumbling some indistinct words, a prayer, doubtless, as she went. The traveler put forth his staff, and he touched her withered neck with what seemed to be the serpent's tail. "The devil!"
Then Goody Cloyes knows her old friend?
Ah, forsooth, and it is your worship indeed? Yeah, truly is it. And in the very image of my old gossip, Goodman Brown, the grandfather of the silly fellow that now is. But, would your worship believe it? My broomstick hath strangely disappeared, stolen, as I suspect, by the unchanged witch Goody Corey, and that too when I was all anointed with the juice of smallage and cinquefoil and wolf's bane.
Mingled with fine wheat and the fat of a newborn babe.
Ah, your worship knows the recipe. So, as I was saying, being all ready for the meeting, and no horse to ride on, I made up my mind to foot it. For they tell me there is a nice young man to be taken into communion tonight. But now your good worship will lend me your arm, and we shall be there in a twinkling.
That can hardly be. I may not spare you my arm, Goody Cloyes, but here's my staff, if you will.
So saying, he threw it down at her feet, where perhaps it assumed life, being one of the rods which its owner had formerly lent to the Egyptian magi. Of this fact, however, Goodman Brown could not take cognizance. He had cast up his eyes in astonishment, and looking down again, beheld neither Goody Cloyse nor the serpent's staff, but his fellow traveler alone, who waited for him as calmly as if nothing had happened.
That old woman taught me my catechism.
That's it, right?